Welcome to Learn English While You Sleep. Tonight, you're going to hear English spoken in a natural way, real conversations, the kind you'd hear in everyday life. As you listen, the sounds and rhythms of English will start to feel familiar, comfortable, and easy to recognize. You don't need to study or focus. You don't even need to stay awake. All you need to do is relax, let go, and allow the words to flow in the background. Your mind is always listening, even while you sleep. The more you hear English, the more natural it becomes. With each conversation, you'll hear the language as it's really spoken: tone, rhythm, and expression. Then, the important words and phrases will gently repeat, giving your brain time to connect with them, to understand them, and to remember them. This process is simple, effortless, and natural. So take a moment to get comfortable. If you're lying down, feel your body sink into the bed. If you're sitting, let your shoulders drop and your breathing slow down. Let your mind become calm and open. You don't need to try. You don't need to concentrate. English will come to you naturally, little by little, word by word, as you rest. In a moment, you'll hear the first dialogue. Just let it play. If your mind wanders, that's fine. If you fall asleep, that's fine too. The language will still be there, surrounding you, slowly becoming part of the way you think and understand. Simply relax, listen, and let English guide you into sleep. Now, let's begin. First, we're going to listen to a dialogue called Being Late for Work between Mark and Lisa. After the dialogue, we're going to review some of the vocabulary and phrases that were used in the conversation. Let's begin. Mark: Man, I was late to work again today. Lisa: Again? What happened this time? Mark: The bus just didn't show up. Like, I was standing there for, 20 minutes, and nothing. Lisa: That's so annoying. Did you end up calling your boss? Mark: No, I just showed up late. He didn't say anything, but I could tell he was irritated. Lisa: Yeah, sometimes you can just see it in their face. Mark: Exactly. He didn't yell or anything, but the way he looked at me, I know he's keeping track. Lisa: You think he'll actually say something? Mark: Probably. He already gave me a warning last month. He said if I keep being late, they might let me go. Lisa: That's rough. But honestly, it's not really your fault if the bus doesn't come. Mark: True, but from their perspective, it's not their problem. They just want me there on time. Lisa: Yeah, I get that. So what are you gonna do? Mark: I don't know. I was thinking maybe I should start leaving earlier, like catching an earlier bus just in case. Lisa: That could work. Or maybe see if anyone from your job lives near you. Carpooling could save you the headache. Mark: That's a good idea, actually. I just don't really know anyone that well yet. Lisa: Yeah, but it's worth asking. Better than stressing out every morning. Mark: For sure. The thing is, I don't even like this job that much. But still, I can't afford to lose it right now. Lisa: Right. You just gotta hang on until you find something better. Mark: Exactly. I'm just hoping nothing else goes wrong this week. Lisa: What time were you supposed to be there? Mark: 8:30. I walked in around 8:50. Lisa: Okay, that's not too bad. Like 20 minutes late? Yeah, but at least it wasn't like an hour. Mark: True. But I just hate walking in and everyone's already working and I'm the guy coming in late. It's embarrassing. Lisa: Yeah, I get that. But honestly, people probably didn't notice it as much as you think. Mark: Maybe. Still, I don't want to be that guy, you know? Lisa: Yeah, I hear you. I'd probably feel the same. Mark: Anyway, I'm gonna try to get to bed earlier tonight so I don't oversleep. Lisa: That's probably smart. You'll feel better too. Mark: Hopefully, but knowing me, I'll probably end up scrolling on my phone until midnight. Lisa: Yeah, we all do that. All right. Now that we have finished the dialogue, we're going to take a look at some of the vocabulary and phrases. Number 1, didn't show up. For example, the bus didn't show up. He said he'd come to the party, but he never showed up. Didn't show up is the same as didn't arrive or didn't get there. To show up is like to arrive, to get there. Number 2, keeping track. For example, my boss is keeping track of when I'm late. I keep track of my expenses in a notebook. Keeping track is like paying attention, noticing, and remembering. Number 3, they might let me go. For example, if I'm late again, they might let me go. The company isn't making money, so they let some people go. They might let me go is a polite or indirect way to say they might fire me. We also have the expression to lay off, to lay someone off. They might lay me off. The difference between firing someone and laying someone off is that sometimes you do something wrong and they fire you. Sometimes it's not your fault. The company just wants to decrease their number of employees, and so you get laid off. But in this context, Mark is saying that they might let him go because he made the mistake of being late for work too many times. And therefore, they might fire him. They might let him go. Number 4, from their perspective. For example, from their perspective, it's not an excuse. From the teacher's perspective, we were just being disruptive. From their perspective is how they see or understand the situation. From their point of view. From their perspective. Number 5, carpooling. For example, we carpool to save money on gas. Carpooling makes the commute easier. Carpooling is sharing a ride with someone else to work or school. Usually, people alternate vehicles For example, today Mark drives Lisa to work. And the next day, Lisa drives Mark to work. Often people who do carpooling will alternate. They will take turns driving each other, using each other's car. Number 6, can't afford to lose it. For example, I don't like the job, but I can't afford to lose it. I can't afford to miss rent this month. Can't afford to lose it means you don't have the money or situation to risk losing something. You can't afford to lose it. You can't lose it because your situation needs it right now. You need the money, you need this job, so you just can't lose it. You need it. Can't afford to lose it. Number 7, walk in. For example, I walked in late. She walked in while we were eating. To walk in is a casual way of saying arriving, getting there. More literally, entering the building, the workplace. I walked in late. I walked into my workplace late. Number 8, that guy. For example, I don't want to be that guy who's always late. Don't be that guy who ruins the movie by talking. In this context, it is a negative label for someone with a reputation that is often embarrassing or annoying. So Mark doesn't want to be that guy who's always late. The guy who's always late. Number 9, scroll on my phone. For example, I stayed up late scrolling on my phone. He scrolls on his phone all day. To scroll on your phone is to look at social media or apps on your phone, often for a long time without noticing. So, the action of scrolling is literally when you move your finger up and down so that the screen moves. So, for example, you're on Instagram and you're scrolling. So you're moving the screen down and you're seeing more and more videos or pictures. You're scrolling through your Instagram feed or your Facebook feed or timeline or whatever it's called. That is the action of scrolling. And often people mindlessly scroll. I'm mindlessly scrolling. Mindlessly scrolling. This is when you're not really paying attention. You don't realize how much you're scrolling just because you're bored or whatever. You're not doing it intentionally. You're just mindlessly scrolling. All right. What did you think of that dialogue? Did you learn any new words or phrases? Now we're going to take a look at another realistic dialogue and its vocab and phrases. Dialogue number 2 is called Weekend Plans. It's a conversation between Emily and Josh. Let's begin. Emily: so, what are you doing this weekend? Josh: honestly, nothing exciting. Probably just catching up on laundry. Emily: same. I swear, no matter how often I do laundry, the basket's always full again. Josh: yeah, it's never ending. I might also clean the kitchen. It's a mess right now. Emily. Same here. I was cooking last night and just left everything on the counter. I was too tired to clean up. Josh. Oh, I do that all the time. I'll be like, I'll wash the dishes tomorrow. And then the next day comes and they're still sitting there. Emily. And it's worse the next day because now everything's stuck to the pan. Josh. Exactly. I hate when pasta sauce dries on the plate. It's impossible to scrub off. Emily. Yeah, you need a chisel at that point. Josh. Anyway, I might meet up with a friend Saturday afternoon, but I'm not sure yet. Emily. Nice. What are you guys gonna do? Josh. Probably just grab some food, maybe Mexican or Thai. We haven't decided. Emily. That sounds good. I haven't had Thai food in forever. Josh. Same. Honestly though, it depends if I have the energy. By Saturday, I'm usually wiped out. Emily. Yeah, me too. I always think I'll do something fun, but by the weekend, I'm just catching up on sleep. Josh. Right? I feel like I'm either running errands or just lying around. Emily. Yep, no in between. Josh. What about you? Any plans? Emily. Well, I was gonna visit my parents, but it's a bit of a hassle getting out there. It's like an hour-and-a-half drive. Josh. That's not too bad. Emily. True, but it feels longer when there's traffic, and I always end up staying way later than I planned. Josh. Yeah, that happens. You say you'll leave at 8, but suddenly it's 10:30. Emily. Exactly, and then I'm exhausted the next day. Josh. Still, it's nice to see family. Emily. Yeah, it is. I just have to be in the right mood for it, you know? Josh. Totally. Sometimes I just want to do nothing all weekend. Emily. Same. Honestly, doing nothing sounds pretty great right now. Josh. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. Laundry, dishes, maybe a nap. That's my plan. Emily. Living the dream. All right. I hope you enjoyed that dialogue. Now we're going to take a look at the vocabulary and phrases. Some of them, not all of them. Number 1, catching up on something. This is doing something that you've been behind on. For example, I'm catching up on laundry this weekend. I need to catch up on emails. Number 2, never ending. Something that feels like it never stops. Literally, it never ends. Examples. The laundry is never ending. This meeting feels never ending. Number 3, scrub off. This is to clean something by rubbing hard. I had to scrub off the dried pasta sauce. She scrubbed off the marker from the desk. 4, grab some food. This is a very common way to say, go eat, usually casually. Let's grab some food after work. We grabbed pizza last night. 5, wiped out. Extremely tired, no energy. By Saturday, I'm wiped out. After the workout, I was totally wiped out. 6, running errands. doing small tasks like shopping, paying bills, etc. I spent my Saturday running errands. She had to run errands before the party. 7. A hassle. Something annoying, inconvenient, or difficult. Visiting my parents is kind of a hassle. Getting a new driver's license is such a hassle. 8. In the right mood. Feeling like doing something. I have to be in the right mood to clean. I'm not in the mood to go out tonight. 9. Living the dream. Said jokingly when you're describing something ordinary, not actually exciting. So, Emily said this in a sarcastic way. Laundry, dishes, and a nap. Living the dream. Back to work on Monday. Living the dream. All right. Did you learn anything new from the conversation between Emily and Josh? I hope so. All right, on to the next dialogue. By the way, are you still awake? It's okay if you're not. But if you still are, let's keep going. Dialogue number 3, grocery shopping. Sometimes we say grocery shopping. Grocery, grocery, either way. This conversation is between Maya and Chris. Let's begin. Maya. I have to go grocery shopping later, and I really don't want to. Chris. Same, I keep putting it off, but now my fridge is basically empty. Maya. Yeah, mine too. I think I have like half a bottle of ketchup and some wilted lettuce. Chris. That's basically where I'm at. I've got soy milk, but it expires tomorrow. Maya. I hate when that happens. You think you have food, but then you look closer and it's all expired. Chris. Yeah, or it's one random thing that doesn't go with anything else. Like, I've got a can of chickpeas and a jar of pickles. What am I supposed to do with that? Maya. Honestly, same. I have like one frozen waffle left in the box, not even 2, just 1. Chris. Do you usually go to the big supermarket, or do you shop at the little store near your place? Maya. Usually the big one, but I hate how crowded it gets on weekends. Chris. Oh, for sure. Saturday afternoon? Forget it. It's packed. Maya. Exactly. The lines are insane. You're standing there forever. Chris. That's why I usually go late at night, like around 9 or 10. Hardly anyone's there. Maya. Yeah, but then half the stuff is sold out. Chris. True. It's a gamble. Maya. What do you usually buy every week? Chris. Basics, I guess. Bread, oat milk, some fruit, tofu, rice, stuff like that. Maya. Yeah, same. I try to buy vegetables, but they always go bad before I eat them. Chris. Oh, same here. I'll buy spinach thinking I'm going to be healthy, and then a week later, it's just a slimy mess in the back of my fridge. Maya. Literally me. I always feel guilty throwing it away. Chris. Yeah, it's like I'm just wasting money at that point. Maya. Do you make a list before you go? Chris. Sometimes, but usually I just walk around the store and grab whatever looks good. Maya. That's dangerous. That's how you end up spending way too much. Chris. Yeah, last time I went in for oat milk and bread, and I left with $40 worth of snacks. Maya. Classic. I do the same thing. Chips, cookies, ice cream, all the stuff I don't need. Chris. Exactly. And then when I actually want to cook a real meal, I'm like, great, I have nothing. Maya. Yup, same. Chris. Are you going tonight or tomorrow? Maya: Tonight, probably. If I wait until tomorrow, I'll just end up ordering food again. Chris: True. Delivery adds up quick. Maya: Yeah, I checked my bank statement the other day and I was like, wow, I spent how much on takeout? Chris: I don't even want to know how much I've spent. Alright, now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary and phrases used in that dialogue. Number 1, putting it off. This means delaying something that you don't want to do. For example, I've been putting off cleaning the bathroom all week. She keeps putting off calling her parents. 2, wilted. Old, soft, and not fresh anymore. The flowers wilted in the heat. My salad greens were already wilted when I opened the bag. Expires. Number 3, expires. The date when food or drinks are no longer safe to eat. This oat milk expires tomorrow. Don't drink that juice, it expired last week. 4, doesn't go with anything else. Doesn't match or can't be combined. These shoes don't go with anything else I own. A jar of olives doesn't go with the rest of my dinner. Number 5, packed. Very crowded or full. The subway was packed during rush hour. The store is always packed on Sunday afternoons. 6, a gamble. Risky. You don't know how it will turn out. Buying used electronics online is always a gamble. Trying a new recipe without instructions is always a gamble. 7, slimy. Wet, slippery, and gross. The spinach in my fridge turned slimy. The sink felt slimy because it hadn't been cleaned. 8, grab whatever looks good. Pick things impulsively without a plan. I didn't make a list, so I just grabbed whatever looked good. He grabbed whatever looked good at the buffet. He grabbed whatever looked good at the buffet. 9, adds up quick. Small amounts become a lot over time. Eating out every day adds up quick. Those little fees on your bill add up quick. All right, are you ready for dialogue number 4? Let's go. All right, now we have dialogue number 4, which is called Breakfast and Cooking Habits. The conversation is between Alex and Jordan. Alex: I was so tired this morning, I almost skipped breakfast. Jordan: Same. I just grabbed a banana on my way out the door. Alex: That's better than me. I had nothing, just coffee. Jordan: Coffee counts as breakfast, right? Alex: Not really, but I like to pretend. Jordan: I usually try to eat oatmeal or something, but I ran out yesterday. Alex: Oatmeal is solid. Do you make it plain or add stuff? Jordan: I throw in some peanut butter, chia seeds, maybe fruit if I have any. Alex: Nice. I always say I'll do that, but then I just eat toast with avocado. Jordan: Hey, that's good too. Simple, but filling. Alex: True, but sometimes I look in my kitchen and it's just random ingredients. Like I have pasta, but no sauce, or rice, but no veggies. Jordan: Same here. I swear I'll have 6 bags of frozen peas, but nothing to actually cook with them. Alex: Why is that so relatable? Jordan: Because we're all bad at shopping. Do you meal prep? Alex: I've tried, but I always get bored of eating the same thing 3 days in a row. Jordan: Yeah, I'll make a big pot of lentil soup, and by the 3rd day I'm like, nope, done. Alex. Exactly. I wish I was one of those people who can eat the same thing every day. Jordan. Honestly, I get jealous of them. It must make life so much easier. Alex. Yeah, no decisions, just eat and move on. Jordan. But then again, food is supposed to be enjoyable. Alex. True, like last night I made stir fry with tofu and veggies, and it was amazing. Jordan. Nice. What veggies did you use? Alex. Broccoli, carrots, peppers, just whatever I had left. Jordan. Classic combo. I should do that tonight. Alex. Do it. Quick, easy, healthy. Jordan. And way cheaper than ordering takeout. Alex. Oh my god, yes. Takeout is my weakness. Jordan. Same. I'll be like, it's only $15. Then I realize I've done that 4 times in a week. Alex. Yeah, it adds up so fast. Jordan. I'm trying to cook more at home, but I just get lazy. Alex. Honestly, same. Alright, now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary that they used in the dialogue. Number 1, skipped breakfast. This means they didn't eat in the morning. I was running late, so I skipped breakfast. She always skips breakfast before exams. 2, ran out. Used up all of something. I ran out of oat milk, so I couldn't make coffee. We ran out of rice last night. 3, throw in. Add casually. I threw in some spinach to the pasta. He likes to throw in a few jokes during class. 4, random ingredients. Food that doesn't match or make a full meal. I opened my fridge and only had random ingredients. It's hard to cook with random ingredients. 5, relatable. Easy to understand because you've had the same experience. That video was so relatable. Her story about procrastinating was super relatable. 6, meal prep. Cooking food in abundance for the week. I meal prep on Sundays so I don't have to cook every night. Meal prep helps me save money. 7, done. Finished, can't handle more of something. After 3 slices of cake, I'm done. He studied for 6 hours straight and was completely done. 8, weakness. Something you can't resist. Chocolate is my weakness. Her weakness is buying shoes. 9, adds up. Costs or numbers increase quickly. Eating out all the time really adds up. Small expenses add up over the month. Alright, did you learn something from that dialogue or the vocabulary review? I hope so. Want to move on to dialogue number 5? Alright, let's go. Are you still alive? Hello? Hello out there? Are you alive? Either way, I'm gonna continue. We're keeping it moving. Alright, now we have dialogue number 5, which is called Weekend Plans. This is a conversation between Lena, or Lena, depending on how you want to say it, but let's say Lena because probably people who speak American English would say that, and Marcus. Let's begin. Lena. Do you have any plans for the weekend? Marcus. Not really. I was thinking about maybe cleaning my apartment, but that doesn't sound very exciting. Lena. Yeah, that's not exactly fun. Marcus. No kidding. What about you? Lena. I might go see a movie with a friend. We've been talking about it for weeks, but we never actually go. Marcus. Which movie? Lena. That new one everyone keeps talking about. I forget the name, but it's supposed to be really good. Marcus. Oh yeah, I've heard about that one. The one with the big twist at the end. Lena. Yeah, that's the one. Don't spoil it if you know what happens. Marcus. I don't. I've just seen people posting about it online. Lena. Honestly, that's kind of the only reason I want to see it. Everyone keeps hyping it up. Marcus. True. I usually wait until movies are streaming though. The theater is so expensive now. Lena. I know. Last time I went, I spent more on popcorn and a drink than on the actual ticket. Marcus. Exactly, and if you get candy too, forget it. That's like $25 gone. Lena. Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's still fun every once in a while. Marcus. For sure. I actually can't remember the last time I went to the movies. Lena. Same. I think the last time for me was like a year ago, maybe longer. Marcus. Do you ever just stay home and watch random stuff instead? Lena. All the time. Half the time I spend more time scrolling through Netflix than actually watching anything. Marcus. Same. I'll sit there for like 40 minutes just reading descriptions and trailers, and then I give up. Lena. Exactly. Then I just put on some old show I've seen a million times. Marcus. Comfort shows. Gotta love them. Lena. Yep. Do you have a favorite? Marcus. Honestly, probably The Office. I can rewatch it forever. Lena. Classic. For me, it's Friends. Total comfort show. Marcus. Nice. So are you definitely gonna go to the movies this weekend? Lena. I mean, I want to, but it depends if my friend actually follows through. She always cancels last minute. Marcus. Oof, I know the feeling. Nothing worse than getting ready to go out and then, sorry, can't make it. Lena. Exactly, then I'm just sitting there like, cool, guess I'll stay home. Marcus. Hey, staying home isn't so bad. You can save money, cook something, chill. Lena. True. Do you cook much? Marcus. Sometimes. Mostly simple stuff. Pasta, rice, stir fry. Easy things. Lena. Same. I always say I'll cook more, but then I get lazy. Marcus. Story of my life. Lena. Same. Anyway, if my friend cancels, maybe I'll just do a cleaning day too. Marcus. Look at us. So exciting. Lena. Wild weekend plans. All right. Now it's time to take a look at some of the vocabulary that we heard in the dialogue. Number 1. Not exactly fun. A casual way to say something isn't enjoyable. Cleaning my room is not exactly fun, but it has to be done. Sitting in traffic for an hour is not exactly fun either. 2. Hype it up. To talk about something a lot and make it sound better than it really is. Everyone hyped up that new show, but I didn't like it. He always hypes up his cooking, but it's just average. 3. Forget it. Used to say, don't even think about it, or it's impossible. If you try to get tickets last minute, forget it. Parking downtown on a Friday night, forget it. Number 4, comfort show. A TV show you watch repeatedly because it feels familiar and relaxing. Friends is her comfort show. She watches it almost every night. My comfort show is The Simpsons. 5. Last minute. Very close to the time when something is supposed to happen. He always cancels plans at the last minute. They change the meeting location at the last minute. 6. Oof. Informal sound to react to something bad, annoying, or disappointing. Oof, that test was harder than I expected. Oof, sorry you had such a rough day. By the way, this is not an official English word, but it's just kind of a universal reaction I think people do in other languages as well. Alright, number 7. Story of my life. A phrase used when something always happens to you, often in a frustrating way. I always lose my keys. Story of my life. Staying up too late and being tired in the morning. Story of my life. 8. Wild weekend plans. A sarcastic way to describe boring or normal plans. Doing laundry and grocery shopping. Wild weekend plans. Staying in and watching TV. Wild weekend plans. 9. Follow through. To actually do what you said you'd do. He promised to help, but didn't follow through. If she doesn't follow through with her plans, we'll have to cancel. Alright, so by the way, guys, some of these are super common phrases that we use all the time. Some of them are not necessarily extremely common phrases that we use all the time, but just native speakers being creative, being funny, putting words together, and saying things like comfort show or wild weekend plans. These are just kind of like jokes, but not necessarily like an extremely common phrase. But then we have other phrases like story of my life or follow through, which are extremely common phrases that everybody says, basically, a lot of people. So, but these lists of vocabulary that I'm going over with you are just based off some of the phrases in the dialogue. So just to explain and elaborate on some of the things that you heard in the dialogue. That's it. Alright, well, I hope you're enjoying this relaxing English lesson, and we will continue with the next dialogue. Alright, are you ready for dialogue number 6, called Running Late? It's a conversation between Nina and Alex. Let's go. Nina. I hate mornings. I was supposed to wake up at 7, but I didn't get out of bed until 8:30. Alex. Same. My alarm went off and I just kept hitting snooze. Nina. I swear, snooze is dangerous. It tricks you into thinking 5 more minutes won't hurt, but suddenly it's an hour later. Alex. Exactly, but then you're rushing around trying to get ready in 10 minutes. Nina. That was me today. I didn't even have time to make breakfast. I just grabbed a banana and ran out the door. Alex. Honestly, that's better than nothing. I skipped breakfast completely. Nina. Don't you get hungry later? Alex. Oh, totally. By 10 a.m. my stomach's making noises in the middle of meetings. It's so embarrassing. Nina. Been there. Sometimes I bring snacks, but I always forget to pack them. Alex. Same. And when I don't, I end up buying overpriced granola bars from the vending machine. Nina. Those machines are such a trap. You're desperate, so you spend $3 on something tiny. Alex. Exactly. And then I regret it. Nina. So were you late to work today? Alex. Yeah, a little. But my boss didn't say anything. I feel like if it happens again, I'll be in trouble. Nina. Oof, yeah. I used to be late all the time at my old job, and eventually they started writing me up. Alex. That's what I'm worried about. It's not like I mean to be late, I just can't seem to get my mornings together. Nina. Maybe you need to go to bed earlier. Alex. I try, but then I get stuck on my phone scrolling. Nina. Same. I tell myself, just 5 more minutes, and then suddenly it's midnight. Alex. Exactly. And then when the alarm goes off, it feels impossible to get up. Nina: honestly, I think the trick is setting a real routine. Like, put your phone across the room so you have to actually get out of bed to turn off the alarm. Alex: that's smart, but then I'd probably just crawl back into bed anyway. Nina: yeah, true. It takes serious willpower. Alex: do you drink coffee in the morning? Nina: yep, it's the only thing that wakes me up. I make a big cup as soon as I get to the kitchen. Alex: I usually do too, but today I didn't even have time. I'm dying without it. Nina: that explains why you look half asleep right now. Alex: thanks, appreciate that. Nina: just being honest. Alright, now let's take a look at the vocabulary. We have number 1, snooze, or the snooze button. This is the button on an alarm clock or phone that delays the alarm for a few minutes. I kept hitting snooze and ended up being late. The snooze button is my worst enemy in the morning. 2, rush around. To move quickly because you're in a hurry. I had to rush around to get ready for work. She kept rushing around the house looking for her keys. 3, grab and go. To quickly take something to eat or bring with you without sitting down. I grabbed a sandwich and ate it on the way. This cafe is good for grab and go snacks. 4, overpriced. Costing more than it's really worth. That smoothie was totally overpriced. The clothes at that store are cute, but way overpriced. 5, a trap. Something that tricks you into doing or spending more than you should. The vending machine is a trap when you're hungry. Black Friday sales are kind of a trap. 6, write-up. An official warning from a boss at work. He got written up for being late too many times. If you keep missing deadlines, they'll write you up. 7, get my mornings together. Informal way of saying organize my morning routine. I can't seem to get my mornings together. Once I got my mornings together, I stopped being late. 8, willpower. The mental strength to control yourself and do something difficult. It takes willpower to wake up early every day. She used her willpower to resist buying junk food. 9, half asleep. Very tired, not fully awake. He looked half asleep during the meeting. I can't focus when I'm half asleep. All right. How was that one? How was that dialogue for you? Are you awake? Or are you asleep? Are you relaxed? Do you understand me? How easy is this for you? How difficult is this for you? If you're still awake, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you think of this video. I'm always open to suggestions. Do you think this is adequate for your English level? Or would you like something more challenging? Or perhaps easier? I'm trying to speak at a normal pace when I do the dialogue and just in general. This is normal. It's normal to take pauses between saying things. But it's also normal to say sentences all together quickly, especially in the dialogue. What do you think about the speed? Does it seem natural to you? Why or why not? I think that sometimes things on the internet can be a little bit faster than real life or slower than real life, and it confuses us. But real life speaking, It varies. Sometimes it's really slow and sometimes it's really fast. So, yeah, I guess you never know what you're gonna get. All right. All right. So I guess we will continue with the next dialogue. All right. Dialogue 7. At the coffee shop. We have a conversation between Jordan and Taylor. Jordan. I barely slept last night. I need like 3 coffees just to function. Taylor. Same here. I went to bed late, and then I kept waking up. It was awful. Jordan. Yeah, I tossed and turned for hours. Anyway, I'm getting a large cold brew. What about you? Taylor. Probably just a latte with oat milk. If I drink too much coffee, I get super jittery. Jordan. Oh, I get that. Last week I had 2 cold brews back to back, and my hands were literally shaking. Taylor. That's when you know it's bad. Do you usually go to this cafe? Jordan. Yeah, it's on my way to work, so it's kind of my go-to spot. The barista even knows my order now. Taylor. That's the best. I love when they remember without asking. Makes you feel like a regular. Jordan. Exactly. But it's dangerous too, because I end up spending way too much money here. Taylor. Oh, same. Coffee shop prices are ridiculous. $4 or $5 for one drink? Jordan. Yeah, and then if you add a muffin or a cookie, suddenly it's like $8. Taylor. Right? And you justify it by saying, well, I needed breakfast anyway. Jordan. Exactly. And then you get hungry 2 hours later. Taylor. Do you ever try making coffee at home instead? Jordan. Sometimes. I have a French press, but honestly, it's not the same. Taylor. I know what you mean. I bought an espresso machine once, but it just sat there collecting dust. Jordan. Classic. Good intention, zero follow-through. Taylor. Yep, that's me. Plus, it's the vibe here, you know? You can't really recreate that at home. Jordan. For sure. People working on laptops, music in the background, that smell of coffee. It's just different. Taylor. Totally. Do you ever get snacks here, or just coffee? Jordan. Mostly coffee. Sometimes I grab a bagel, but usually I try not to. Taylor. Same. I'll get tempted by those giant chocolate chip cookies, though. They're impossible to resist. Jordan. I know the ones you mean. They're like the size of your face. Taylor. Exactly. And you're like, okay, I'll just eat half, but then somehow the whole thing's gone. Jordan. Story of my life. Anyway, you ready to order? Taylor. Yeah, let's do it. All right. Are you ready for the vocabulary? Are you ready? Number 1. Toss and turn. To move around a lot in bed because you can't sleep. I was tossing and turning all night before my job interview. She couldn't relax, so she just kept tossing and turning. 2. Cold brew. Coffee made by steeping ground coffee in cold water for a long time. He ordered a cold brew instead of regular iced coffee. Cold brew usually has more caffeine than hot coffee. 3. Jittery. Nervous, shaky, or restless, often from too much caffeine. I get jittery if I drink coffee on an empty stomach. She felt jittery before giving her presentation. 4. Go-to. The thing you usually choose because it's reliable. Pizza is my go-to food when I don't feel like cooking. This cafe is my go-to spot for studying. Regular. A customer who comes often to the same place. He's such a regular that the bartender knows his order by heart. She became a regular at the yoga studio after moving nearby. 6. Ridiculous. Something so extreme or silly that it's hard to believe. The rent prices in this city are ridiculous. Paying $10 for a salad is ridiculous. 7. Justify. To give a reason that makes something seem okay. He tried to justify buying new shoes by saying they were on sale. I just can't justify spending that much money on coffee every day. 8. Collect dust. When something just sits unused for a long time. My guitar has been collecting dust since high school. The treadmill in the corner is basically collecting dust. Follow through. Number 9. Follow through. Actually finishing what you started or planned. She always has good ideas, but never follows through with them. He bought workout gear, but didn't have any follow through. All right, that's the end of dialogue number 7 and its associated vocabulary and phrases. By the way, I just wanted to say, if you're out there, if you're listening to this, if you're awake, that in the story, in the dialogue, they mentioned that the price of a coffee was like $4 or $5. This must be an old story because in the United States today, I think it's much more than that. I think if you go to a coffee shop and you get a coffee, even a small one, I think you're probably going to spend at least $8, at least. So, yeah, inflation. All right, are you ready for dialogue number 8? Well, I hope so, because it's coming. All right, dialogue number 8 is called Moving Stress. It's a conversation between Aaron and Mark. Aaron. I swear, moving is the worst. I don't know how I've managed to collect so much stuff. Mark. Oh, same. Oh, by the way, guys, they're using same a lot in these dialogues, which, yeah, we use it, we do say that, but they're using it a bit more than we use. We use it, but not like this much. So, yeah, I know it's a little bit excessive in these dialogues. All right, I'm aware, but we do use it. Mark. Oh, same. Every time I move, I'm like, where did all this come from? It's like my things multiply when I'm not looking. Aaron. Exactly. And I thought I didn't even own that much. But then you start pulling stuff out of closets, and suddenly there are boxes everywhere. Mark. Don't even get me started on the kitchen. Pots, pans, random gadgets you forgot you even had. Aaron. Seriously, I found a juicer I bought years ago, still in the box, never touched it. Mark. Classic. I did the same thing with a rice cooker. I used it once and then shoved it in the back of the cabinet. Aaron. And the worst part is packing clothes. Like, why do I have 7 hoodies when I live in a warm state? Mark. Yeah, and you can't even get rid of them because you convince yourself, well, maybe I'll need this someday. Aaron. Exactly. That's how I end up with boxes full of clothes I never wear. Mark. Are you moving far? Aaron. Not really, just across town, but it still feels like a nightmare. I'm doing it all myself this weekend. Mark. Oof, you didn't hire movers? Aaron. Nah, too expensive. I'll probably just rope a couple of friends into helping me. Mark. Good luck with that. People vanish real quick when you mention moving. Aaron. Yeah, I've noticed. Everyone's busy all of a sudden. Mark. Exactly. And if they do show up, they expect free pizza as payment. Aaron. Honestly, that's fair. I'd work for pizza. Mark. Same. And maybe some drinks afterward. Gotta keep morale up. Aaron. True. I'm just dreading carrying furniture down the stairs. My couch barely fit going in. Mark. Oh no, that's the worst. I once had to get rid of a couch because it literally wouldn't fit through the door. Aaron. Don't tell me that. I can already picture it happening. Mark. At least you're only moving across town. When I moved states, it was brutal. The truck rental alone was hundreds of dollars. Aaron. Yeah, no thanks. I don't think I could handle that right now. This little move is already stressing me out. Mark. You'll get through it. Just take it one box at a time. Aaron. That's what I keep telling myself. Maybe once I'm settled, I'll finally declutter and get rid of all the junk. Mark. Famous last words. You'll probably just end up filling the new place with more stuff. Aaron. You're probably right. Alright, are you ready for the vocabulary? The dialogues are cheesy, I am aware. They are very corny, very cheesy. Corny and cheesy is like basically the same thing. Yeah. These are extra cheesy. Like it's based off how we talk in real life, but in real life we're usually not this corny. Yeah. All of these people in these dialogues have the same personality. Every single character in every single one of these dialogues that I have given you, that I've been reading, all the characters have the same personality. Have you noticed this? So yeah, but there's still a lot of English, a lot of realistic American English you can pick up on from here. So, all right, let's get into the vocab. Number 1, multiply. When something seems to increase quickly or unexpectedly. In this context, of course. My dirty laundry multiplies every week. Books just seem to multiply on my shelves. 2, gadgets. Small tools or devices, often for the kitchen or technology. Gadgets. She bought a gadget that peels apples automatically. Most of my kitchen gadgets are just sitting in a drawer. Yeah, gadgets, it is a word that people understand, but we probably would just say something else. Like, she bought a thing that peels apples, or a tool, or an apple peeler, or most of my kitchen utensils. We usually use other words. Gadgets is a little bit vague. It's a little bit too general, but it is a word. 3, shoved. Pushed carelessly into a space. He shoved the clothes into the suitcase without folding them. I shoved my keys into my pocket before leaving. 3, convince yourself. To make yourself believe something even if it isn't practical. I convinced myself I needed another pair of shoes. He convinced himself he'd use the treadmill, but he never did. 5, rope into something. To persuade or trick someone into helping. She roped her brother into helping with the party. I got roped into working overtime again. Working overtime. Some of these things like that, for example, you might hear native speakers say it every once in a while. It's kind of like an idiom, so it's like a phrasal verb and an idiom. It's both. So it's like something that Yeah, you'll hear it sometimes, but it's not like everyday thing people say. It's not like that, but you might hear it. Number 6, vanish. To disappear quickly. The cookies vanished within minutes of being put on the table. He mentioned moving, and suddenly all his friends vanished. Don't feel bad if you feel like, English vocabulary is infinite, so many words I don't know. I'm never gonna learn this language, because like I said, a lot of this stuff is you're not gonna hear it most of the time. You might hear it once in a while. And there's usually another more simple way of saying it, so you don't even have to use it yourself. Like instead of saying vanish, you can say disappear, same thing. You know how we like to just use different words to say the same thing sometimes, but you can always just say this simple standard word that is probably the most common, and it's probably the word that you already know. So don't worry about it. Don't ever feel discouraged because there's just so much vocabulary in a language and you'll never know it. There's a lot of vocabulary in Spanish I just simply don't know that exists, but I'm not concerned with it because if I can say what I want to say, I'm good. But I am always open to expanding my vocabulary at the same time. 7, morale. The overall mood or spirit of a group of people. Snacks helped keep the team's morale high during the late shift. The coach gave a speech to boost morale after the loss. Number 8, brutal. Extremely difficult, harsh, or unpleasant. That workout was brutal. I could barely walk afterward. Moving in the heat was brutal. 9, declutter. To get rid of unnecessary items. I tried to declutter my closet every spring. She spent the weekend decluttering her apartment. All right. How was dialogue 8? Are you ready for dialogue 9? All right. Dialogue 9 is called Job Interview Nerves. It is a conversation between Selena and Damien. That's how we would pronounce those names in American English, okay? Selena. I have that interview tomorrow, and I can already feel my stomach in knots. Damien. What time is it? Selena. 11 in the morning, which means I'll be stressing about it all night and barely sleeping. Damien. Yeah, that's the worst. Do you have your outfit picked out? Selena. Kind of. I tried on like 5 things and they all made me feel weird. Too casual, too formal, not me. Damien. That's tricky. You want to look professional, but also like yourself. Selena. Exactly. I finally just went with black slacks, a button-up, and a blazer. Safe, but not boring. Damien. Perfect. Can't go wrong with that combo. Selena. I hope so. I just keep imagining them asking me some super technical questions and my mind going blank. Damien. That happens to everyone. If you don't know something, just stay calm and talk through your thought process. They usually care more about how you think than if you spit out the perfect answer. Selena. Easier said than done when you feel like you're under a microscope. Damien. True. Do you know who's interviewing you? Selena. I think it's a panel, like 3 people at once. Damien. Oh, that's rough. One-on-one is nerve-wracking enough, but 3 pairs of eyes staring at you? Selena. Exactly. I hate when they all write things down at the same time. You're like, great, what did I say wrong? Damien. Yeah, I've been there. But honestly, half the time they're just taking notes on something positive. Selena. Maybe. Still feels like judgment. Damien. Just remember, it's not an interrogation. It's basically a conversation where you show them that you can handle the role. Selena. I know, but my brain just doesn't believe that. It just screams, don't mess up. Damien. Here's what I do. I go in with a few stories prepared, like times I solved a problem or dealt with a tough situation. That way I can kind of steer the answers back to something I've already thought about. Selena. That's actually a smart idea. I should do that. Damien. Definitely. And don't forget to ask them questions at the end. It makes you look more engaged. Selena. Oh yeah, I always forget that part. I'm just like, cool, thanks, bye. Damien. Right, but even a simple, what does a normal day look like here, goes a long way. Selena. Okay, I'll practice tonight. My heart's racing just talking about it. Damien. You'll crush it. Worst case, it's just practice for the next one. Selena. True. Thanks, I needed the pep talk. Alright, that was the dialogue. Now we're moving on to the vocabulary. Number 1. In knots. Very nervous or anxious. She was so nervous before the exam that her stomach was in knots. My stomach gets in knots whenever I have to speak in front of a crowd. So yeah, typically the phrase is stomach in knots or gets in knots or something like that with your stomach. 2. Slacks. Dress pants, usually for work or formal occasions. He wore a pair of black slacks to the interview. I need to buy new slacks for the office because mine don't fit anymore. You don't have to say slacks, you can just say pants, but it's just another way of saying it. You can say dress pants. It's like formal pants. 3. Blank. When you suddenly forget everything or can't think. When your mind goes blank. During the presentation, my mind went blank and I forgot my next point. Sometimes when I'm stressed, I just go blank. 4. Thought process. The way someone thinks through a problem or situation. The teacher asked me to explain my thought process when solving the problem. Even if your answer is wrong, showing your thought process can impress people. 5. Under a microscope. Feeling like you are being watched or judged very closely. She felt like she was under a microscope during the performance review. I hate feeling like every move I make is under a microscope. 6. Panel. A group of people, often in an interview or discussion, who ask questions together. The panel asked him tough questions about his experience. A panel of judges decided who won the competition. 7. Nerve-wracking. Very stressful or anxiety-inducing. Speaking in front of a big audience is nerve-wracking. Waiting for test results can be nerve-wracking. 8. Interrogation. Intense questioning, usually by the police, but sometimes used jokingly. The suspect went through a long interrogation at the station. My mom gave me an interrogation when I came home late. 9. Pep talk. A speech that encourages someone before they do something difficult. The coach gave the team a pep talk before the big game. I needed a pep talk from my friend before the interview. All right, that was the vocabulary. If you don't learn much from the words that I focus on in the vocabulary, you can definitely learn stuff from the definitions and from the sentences, the examples. And there might be vocabulary in the dialogue that I didn't go over in the vocabulary review that you don't know. You don't know what it is. That's okay. I'm not going over every difficult word or phrase in the dialogue. I'm just going over 9. So, I'm hoping that you will be able to turn on the captions on this YouTube video and you'll be able to read what I'm saying if you would like. And hopefully the captions are good. They are accurate. But I don't know because, well, I'm speaking a bit quietly. Maybe it's not so clear. And sometimes the automatic captions are wrong. But yeah, I hope that is an option if you're interested. I'm probably not going to put subtitles on the video because, yeah, there's automatic captions and yeah, and also the point of this video is kind of to close your eyes, relax, whatever, and not be looking at the screen. So, yeah. So that was that. Dialogue number 9. Are you ready for dialogue 10? I know I am. All right. Let's keep going. All right. Dialogue number 10. Jim struggles. This is a conversation between Hannah and Oliver. Hannah. I can't believe how packed the gym is today. Oliver. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I feel like everyone decided to work out at the same time. Hannah. Seriously, I was waiting for the treadmill for like 20 minutes. Oliver. Same. I finally gave up and went to the rowing machine. My arms are already sore. Hannah. Same here. I just went to do some cardio, but it feels like a competition just to get a machine. Oliver. Do you usually come in the evenings? Hannah. Yeah, after work. I guess that's when everyone else comes too. Oliver. I try mornings, but waking up at 6 a.m., brutal. Hannah. No chance. I can barely wake up for work, let alone the gym. Oliver. What's your usual routine? Hannah. Basics. Treadmill, light weights, maybe the bike. Nothing crazy. Oliver. I've been trying heavier weights, but I'm scared of dropping the bar. Hannah. Same. Do you ever use a spotter? Oliver. Not usually. I just play it safe most of the time. Hannah. Smart. I see people lifting way too heavy and I'm like, you're gonna hurt yourself. Oliver. Or they slam the weights just to show off. Hannah. The worst. And some people don't wipe down machines after using them. Oliver. Seriously, gym hygiene is a real issue. Hannah. Do you ever do classes here? Oliver. Yoga sometimes, but I often sign up and then don't show up. Hannah. At least you admit it. Oliver. Hey, at least we're here. Showing up is half the battle. Hannah. Yeah, even if we're waiting forever for a treadmill. Oliver. True. Hannah. Did you ever notice the new weight section they added last week? Oliver. Yeah, it looks nice, but it's always packed. I tried the bench press and someone was on it for like 15 minutes. Hannah. Oh, that's annoying. I've started bringing my resistance bands instead. Oliver. Smart. I've been using them too, usually when machines are full. Hannah. And they're easy to carry around. I just attach them to the railing by the window and do my sets there. My sets. Oliver. Nice. I might try that next time. I also started doing more body weight exercises lately. Hannah. Like push-ups and squats. Oliver. Yeah, sometimes I just do circuits between machines when everything is busy. Hannah, that's efficient. I might borrow that idea. I hate standing around waiting. Oliver, and don't even get me started on the mirrors. People spend more time checking themselves out than working out. Hannah, so true. I try to avoid the mirrors section during peak hours. Oliver, I just focus on my own form. Some people will never finish a set. They're too busy flexing. Hannah, right? And the music, sometimes it's blasting pop, and sometimes it's weird techno. I can't concentrate. Oliver, I bring my headphones. It's the only way I survive gym chaos. Hannah, yeah, music really helps. Do you have a playlist for heavy lifting? Oliver, definitely. Something with fast beats just to keep me moving. Hannah, I need that for cardio days. Otherwise, I drag through every minute. Oliver, same. Time feels slower if the music isn't motivating. Hannah, and hydration. I forget water sometimes, and then I feel like I'm about to pass out. Oliver, oh, that's the worst. I try to bring a big bottle, but I still run out halfway through. Hannah, maybe we should start a gym checklist. Towel, water, headphones, gloves. Oliver, not a bad idea. Better to be over-prepared than scrambling. Hannah, exactly. Okay, next week we can try the evening class for strength training. Less crowded, I hope. Oliver, sounds good. And if it's still packed, at least we have our bands and circuits. Hannah, deal. Gym survival plan in action. Ah, the cheesiness is killing me. The corniness is killing me. Yes, that's not part of the dialogue. That's my dialogue. I'm dying from the corniness. Okay. Let's do the vocabulary now. Let's do the vocabulary. Number 1, treadmill. A machine for running or walking indoors. I jog on the treadmill every morning. The treadmill was occupied, so I went to the elliptical. 2, cardio. Exercise that raises your heart rate. Swimming is great cardio. I do cardio 3 times a week. 3, routine. A regular sequence of actions or exercises. My workout routine includes stretching and lifting. She changed her morning routine to include yoga. 4, spotter. Someone who assists during weightlifting for safety. I asked my friend to be my spotter at the gym. Using a spotter prevents accidents with heavy weights. 5, show off. To try to impress others. He showed off by lifting heavier than everyone else. Don't show off. Focus on proper form. 6, hygiene. Practices to maintain cleanliness. Gym hygiene is important to maintain cleanliness. He always washes his hands after using public equipment. Well, that didn't have the word hygiene in it, did it? But it's related. Washing your hands after using public equipment is part of good hygiene. That's my own sentence. 7. Oh, looks like we have a repeat for repetition. Brutal. Extremely difficult or unpleasant. That workout was brutal. Waking up early for cardio is brutal. 8. Resistance bands. Elastic bands used for strength training exercises. I use resistance bands for upper body workouts. Resistance bands are perfect when the gym is crowded. 9. Circuit. A series of exercises performed in a sequence. I did a circuit of push-ups, squats, and lunges. Circuit training is efficient when machines are busy. All right, That was dialogue number 10 with its vocabulary. What did you think? Gym struggles. Do you go to the gym? How often do you go to the gym? What is your favorite thing to do at the gym? All right. Well, it looks like it's time to move on to dialogue number 11. If you're still with me. Hello. Anybody out there? Yeah, if you've made it to this point, if you've stayed awake until this point, let me know in the comments. Let me know in the comments how long you stayed awake. To which point of the video? What time? How long did you last? All right, dialogue 11. Road trip plans. This conversation is between Ethan and Sophie. Ethan. So, are we actually going through with this road trip idea? Sophie. Definitely. I've been stuck in the city for too long. I need an adventure. Ethan. All right then. Where are we heading first? Sophie. I was thinking the mountains. Fresh air, hiking, no traffic noise. Ethan. Sounds good. But just so you know, my car isn't exactly road trip ready. Sophie. What does that mean? Ethan. Let's just say the check engine light has been on for a while. Sophie. Oh no, are we gonna make it past the gas station? Sorry, are we even gonna make it past the gas station? Ethan. Hey, don't worry, I'll get it serviced before we go. Probably. Sophie. Probably? That's not reassuring. Ethan. All right, I'll book the appointment tomorrow. Happy? Sophie. Much better. Okay, so we'll need snacks. You can't do a road trip without snacks. Ethan. Obviously. Chips, trail mix, candy. Sophie. Fruit. We need some healthy options too. Ethan. Fine. Fruit. But we're getting sour gummies as well. Non-negotiable. Sophie. Deal. And drinks. Water, iced tea, maybe some cold brew coffee. Ethan. Perfect. Now, music. Who's in charge of the playlist? Sophie. Me, obviously. If you're in charge, it'll just be old rock songs on repeat. Ethan. Excuse me, classic rock is never a bad idea. Sophie. We'll mix it with some pop, maybe a little indie. Ethan. Fine, but no country music. Sophie. Agreed. Ethan. What about where we're staying? Hotels, cabins, tents? Sophie. Cabins if we can find affordable ones. Tents if we're broke. Ethan. I haven't camped in years. Do you even own a tent? Sophie. Nope. But I can borrow one from my cousin. Ethan. Okay, good. I'll bring a sleeping bag. Just don't expect me to sleep on rocks. Sophie. I'll get an air mattress. Problem solved. Ethan. Nice. So how many days are we talking? Sophie. At least 4. 2 feels too short, and a week might be too much. Ethan. Yeah, 4 works. Enough time to explore without going broke. Sophie. Exactly. We can do hiking, maybe kayaking if the weather's good. Ethan. Kayaking? You're really trying to test my balance, huh? Sophie. Don't worry. I'll make sure you don't tip over. Ethan. I'll believe it when I see it. Sophie. Honestly, I just want that road trip feeling, windows down, music blasting, no schedule. Ethan. Yeah, same. Just driving until we feel like stopping. Sophie. Random diners along the way, maybe some weird roadside attractions. Ethan. Like the world's biggest rubber band ball. Sophie. Exactly. Those little things make the trip memorable. Ethan. I'm sold. Let's do it. All right, that was the dialogue. Now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary. Number 1 is road trip. This is a long journey taken by car. We're planning a road trip across the country. They went on a road trip to visit national parks. 2. Check engine light. A warning signal in a car that something may be wrong. The check engine light came on during my drive. He ignored the check engine light for weeks. 3. Trail mix. A snack made of nuts, dried fruit, and sometimes chocolate. I packed trail mix for the hike. She eats trail mix instead of chips. 4. Playlist. A selected list of songs to play. I made a playlist for the party. His playlist is full of classic rock songs. 5. Cabin. A small house, often in the woods or mountains. We stayed in a cabin near the lake. The cabin had no internet, but an amazing view. 6. Tent. A portable shelter made of fabric for camping. We set up a tent at the campsite. They slept in a tent during their hiking trip. 7. Sleeping bag. A padded bag used for sleeping outdoors. I rolled out my sleeping bag by the fire. She forgot her sleeping bag and was freezing all night. 8. Air mattress. An inflatable mattress used for camping or guests. We inflated the air mattress in the tent. He slept on an air mattress in the living room. 9. Diner. A small casual restaurant often by the road. We stopped at a diner for pancakes. The diner was open 24 hours. All right, what did you think of dialogue number 11? Have you ever been on a road trip? Do you want to go on a road trip? Do you like road trips? Personally, I am okay with being in a car for a long time if I'm sitting in the front and I can lay down, close my eyes, maybe in the passenger seat. But if I have to be in the back, no, I get car sick way too easily for that. Yeah. But going on a road trip is an activity that a lot of people seem to enjoy. All right. Well, with that being said, let's continue with dialogue number 12. Are you up for it? All right, let's go. All right, are you ready for dialogue number 12, called Volunteering at the Animal Shelter? This is a conversation between Naomi and Connor. Naomi: so, are you really coming with me to the shelter this weekend? Connor: yeah, of course. I've been meaning to volunteer somewhere. Why not spend time with dogs and cats? Naomi: good answer. Just be prepared. It's not all cuddles and playtime. Connor: what do you mean? Isn't it just walking dogs and giving them treats? Naomi: if only. We'll also be cleaning cages, washing food bowls, and scooping, well, you know. Connor: oh, wow. That part wasn't on the brochure. Naomi: you'll survive. Besides, the animals make it worth it. Connor: I guess. Do they let volunteers adopt if they really connect with a dog? Naomi. Yeah, of course. In fact, that happens all the time. People foster fail. Connor. Foster fail. Naomi. It means you start out fostering an animal, but then you fall in love and end up adopting it. Connor. That sounds like something that would happen to me. Naomi. I can see it already. You show up to walk a dog once, and by next week, you're buying chew toys and a dog bed. Connor. Hey, no shame in that. Naomi. Honestly, the hardest part is seeing the shy ones. Some dogs are terrified because of their past. Connor. That's rough. How do you even help with that? Naomi. Patience. Just sitting with them, letting them get used to you. Sometimes it takes weeks before they trust anyone. Connor. That sounds heartbreaking, but also kind of rewarding. Naomi. Exactly. You celebrate the little victories, like when a dog that's been hiding finally wags its tail. Connor. Okay, yeah, I think I can handle that. Naomi. Plus, the cats need attention too. Some are total divas. Connor. Of course they are. Cats always act like they're royalty. Naomi. True. They'll knock things over just to prove a point. Connor. Sounds like babysitting, but with claws. Naomi. Pretty much. Connor. Do volunteers get any kind of training? Naomi. Yeah, on the first day they show you how to handle the animals safely, like how to put on a harness or how to lift a cat without losing an eye. Connor. Important life skills. Naomi. Seriously though, once you get the hang of it, it feels good to be part of something bigger. Connor. I like that. I feel like I've been wasting weekends just scrolling on my phone. Naomi. Well, this weekend you'll be scooping litter instead. Big upgrade. Connor. Can't wait. All right. That was the dialogue. Now, let's take a look at the vocabulary. Number 1, volunteer. This can be a person or a verb to volunteer. But in this case, it is a person who offers their time without pay. She volunteers at the hospital on weekends. He decided to volunteer at a food bank. So, those example sentences used it as a verb, but it can also be used as a noun, like I want to be a volunteer. I want to volunteer. 2. Foster. To temporarily take care of an animal until it finds a permanent home. They fostered a puppy for 2 months. She wants to foster cats before adopting one. This is also the word they use to talk about taking temporary care of children, like orphaned children, until they find an adopted parent or adoption parents to adopt them permanently, but some of them never do. So you'll hear like foster kids, foster family, like they live in a foster home. It's like a place that provides care for kids that don't have like parents to adopt them or whatever. 3. Adopt. To take an animal or child into your home permanently. We adopted our dog from a shelter. He adopted a kitten last year. 4. Foster fail. When someone plans to foster but ends up adopting. They planned to foster but became a foster fail. Foster fails happen all the time at shelters. I actually didn't know this term personally, but it makes sense. It is just the words foster and fail together. All right, now we have number 5. Harness. A set of straps for controlling or walking an animal. The dog wears a harness on walks. She adjusted the harness so it fit properly. 6. Litter. Material like sand or pellets used for cats to urinate and defecate indoors. To go pee and poop. Like a cat litter, kitty litter. Like, you know how cats have the litter box inside the house where they go poop? Yeah. The cat scratched in the litter box. He cleaned the litter every morning. Yeah, usually we say litter box, but yeah, litter box. 7. Divas. People or animals that act spoiled or demand special treatment. Actors were total divas backstage. Her cats behave like divas. 8. Trust. Belief in the reliability or safety of someone or something. It takes time to build trust with a shy dog. She earned the cat's trust after weeks of visits. 9. Rewarding. Giving satisfaction or a sense of achievement. Volunteering is rewarding because you help others. Teaching kids to read can be challenging but rewarding. All right, what did you think about dialogue number 12? How was it? Have you ever adopted an animal? Remember, adopt, don't shop. Don't support the people who breed animals. Adopt animals who don't have a home. All right, let's move on to dialogue 13. Are you ready? All right, dialogue 13, buying a car. This conversation is between Evan and Rachel. Evan. So, I think my car is officially dead. Rachel. What happened this time? Evan. It stalled on the freeway and wouldn't start again. The mechanic said the engine's basically toast. Rachel. Yikes, that's expensive. Are you thinking new or used? Evan. Honestly, used. I don't want a car payment the size of rent. Rachel. Smart, but be careful. Half the used cars online are scams. Evan. Yeah, I noticed. I messaged one guy and he said he'd ship it from Texas. Like what? Rachel. Oh yeah, classic scam. If you can't test drive it, walk away. Evan. Exactly. I want to sit in the car, smell the weird air freshener, and see the scratches for myself. Rachel. What's your budget? Evan. Around $8,000 max. Rachel. Okay, so probably something like a Honda or Toyota, reliable and boring. Evan. Boring's fine. I just need something that doesn't die every 3 months. Rachel. Fair, but be realistic. $8,000 means older models, probably with high mileage. Evan. Yeah, but as long as it runs, I'll survive. Rachel. You should check Carfax reports. Don't get stuck with a flood car or one that's been in 3 accidents. Evan. Good call. Last thing I need is to buy someone else's disaster. Rachel. Do you know how to haggle? Evan. Not really. My plan is just, please, sir, lower the price. Rachel. It's not haggling, that's begging. Evan. Same thing, different wording. Rachel. No, you gotta point out flaws like, these tires are bald, that's gonna cost me. Evan. Oh, so complain until they drop the price. Rachel. Basically. Evan. I can do that. Complaining is my greatest talent. Evan. Oh, sorry. Rachel. Just don't get talked into extras you don't need. Evan. Like what? Rachel. Extended warranty, random fees, paint protection, stuff like that. Evan. Got it. No unnecessary magic coating. Rachel. Exactly. Also, bring someone with you when you go. Sellers take you more seriously if you're not alone. Evan. Oh, really? Like a backup negotiator. Rachel. Exactly. I'll play bad cop if you want. Evan. Perfect. You can scowl at them while I pretend to be reasonable. Rachel. So, when are you going car shopping? Evan. This weekend. Want to come with me? Rachel. Sure. But if you buy something ridiculous, I'm saying I told you so forever. Evan. Deal. All right. That was a little funny for me at the end. Funny to me. Funny for me. Yeah, sometimes native speakers use those. Strange as well. To me versus for me. Anyways, let's take a look at the vocabulary. And number 1, toast. You might know this as the bread that you put in the toaster that you cook slightly. But in this case, it is slang for something broken or useless. After dropping his phone in the pool, it was toast. My laptop is toast. It won't even turn on anymore. Yeah, so honestly, I don't really hear a lot of native speakers saying this in real life. Maybe some people do, but I haven't heard it a lot. But yeah. Anyways, it was in this story, but it's not like extremely common. Number 2, scam. A dishonest trick or fraud. She realized the email was a scam when it asked for her bank info. Many online car listings turn out to be scams. Yeah, this is an important word to know and an important concept to understand. A scam. And a person who scams is a scammer. A lot of older people fall for scams through like emails and stuff, phone calls. Yeah, be careful. Make sure you educate yourself on scams, on how to avoid scams. Yeah, it's easy to be scammed nowadays. Number 3, walk away. To leave or refuse without accepting. If the deal doesn't feel right, just walk away. He wanted me to pay double, so I walked away. Yeah, if I'm ever buying something in Latin America where they can change the prices on me and they try to give me gringo price, sometimes I just walk away. I say, no way, not today. I know better than that. And sometimes I just pay it. It really depends on the situation. Okay, number 4, budget. The amount of money you plan to spend. My budget for groceries is $200 a month. My grocery budget. We need to stick to our budget for the trip. Yeah, you can also use it as a verb. A lot of nouns in English you can also use as a verb. You can say like, I need to budget. I'm not budgeting very well. I need to budget. You know, it's like you need to organize your expense, your spending a little better. You need to pay attention to that and be more intentional about your spending. 5, reliable. Dependable, constantly works well. She's a reliable friend who always shows up. Toyota cars are known for being reliable. 6, Mileage. The number of miles a car has been driven. That used car has a really high mileage. Low mileage usually means the car is in better shape. 7. Haggle. To negotiate the price of something. At the flea market, it's normal to haggle. He haggled until the seller dropped the price by $20. 8. Bad cop. Someone who acts tough or strict in a situation to pressure others. During the interview, one boss was friendly and the other played bad cop. She told her friend to act like the bad cop while buying the car. 9. Ridiculous. Absurd, silly, or unreasonable. That price is ridiculous for such a tiny apartment. He wore a ridiculous hat to the party. We love this word ridiculous. We use it all the time. All the time. All right. How was Dialogue 13? Did you understand? Did you learn anything? Are you ready for Dialogue 14? Are you ready? I know I am. Okay, let's go. All right, dialogue number 14, taking a cooking class. This conversation is between Samantha and Miles. Samantha, guess what I signed up for? Miles, skydiving. Skydiving. Finally facing your fear of heights. Samantha, ha, not a chance. I signed up for a cooking class. Miles, oh, that actually makes sense. What kind of cooking? Samantha, Italian cuisine. The description said, we'll learn how to make fresh pasta, classic sauces, and even homemade tiramisu. Miles, that sounds amazing. But wait, you don't even like cooking. Last week you managed to burn rice. Samantha, wow, rude. That happened once. I just want to get better at it. Eating takeout every night is draining my wallet. Miles, fair point. So how does the class work? Samantha, it's once a week for a month. There's an instructor and they provide all the ingredients. Each week has a different theme. Pasta, sauces, breads, desserts. Miles, okay, that actually sounds pretty legit. I can already picture you in one of those little aprons. Samantha, laugh all you want, but by the end I'll be inviting you over for a full-on gourmet dinner. Miles, I'll believe it when I see it. But honestly, cooking classes are a great idea. My cousin took one, and now he rolls sushi like a pro. Samantha, see? That's exactly what I want. I'm tired of just reheating leftovers and pretending it counts as cooking. Miles, what's the first class about? Samantha, knife skills, which is perfect because right now my chopping style is questionable at best. Miles, I've seen you cut onions. It looks like you're auditioning for a sword fight. Samantha, and that's why I'm paying a professional to teach me before I accidentally chop off my finger. Miles, good call. You'll probably learn all these cool techniques, like the rocking motion with the blade. Samantha, yep, and how to dice vegetables evenly instead of turning them into mush. Miles, you know, learning proper technique actually makes cooking faster. You'll be a meal prep machine in no time. Samantha, that's the dream. Less chaos in the kitchen, more confidence. Miles, so are you planning on practicing at home after each class? Samantha, definitely. Otherwise I'll forget everything. Plus I kind of want to impress myself, you know? Miles. And maybe a certain audience of one? Me? Samantha. Ha, exactly. You'll be my official taste tester. Miles. Careful. I take taste testing seriously. I don't sugarcoat my opinions. Samantha. That's fine. I'll just bribe you with tiramisu if you start being too harsh. Miles. Works for me. Honestly, I can't wait. This could be the start of your chef era. Samantha. More like my trying not to burn the kitchen down era. But hey, progress is progress. Alright. I enjoyed that little dialogue. How about you? Now let's take a look at some of the vocabulary. The vocab. Number 1 is cuisine, which is a style of cooking from a particular region or culture. French cuisine is famous for its sauces. I love trying different types of Asian cuisine. 2. Draining my wallet. Making you spend too much money. Constantly eating out is draining my wallet. Concert tickets can really drain your wallet. 3. Legit. Slang for real or genuine. That restaurant is legit. The food is amazing. Her plan sounds legit. I think it'll work. 4. Leftovers. Food saved from a previous meal. We had pizza leftovers for lunch. Don't waste it. Just eat the leftovers. 5. Dice. To cut food into small cubes. Dice the onions before adding them to the pan. You dice the carrots for the stew. 6. Mush. Soft, shapeless food that lost texture. Overcooked vegetables turn into mush. The bananas were too ripe and became mush. 7. Meal prep. Preparing food in advance for future meals. She does meal prep every Sunday. Meal prep saves time during the week. 8. Taste tester. Someone who tries food to check flavor. He volunteered as the taste tester for the new cake. The chef needed a taste tester for her recipe. 9. Bribe. To give something in order to get someone's favor. She tried to bribe her brother with candy. He bribed his friend with pizza to help him move. Yes. Bribe, that is a very good verb to know. Yes. You can bribe people, you can give people things to then receive some kind of benefit. Be careful, you can't bribe police officers in the United States. You can do it in many parts of Latin America, but not in the US. Yes. That just a funny memory popped into my head, but we don't need to get into that right now. Maybe in another video. Okay. Alright, so what did you think about Dialogue 14? Are you hungry? Or are you asleep? Maybe you'll be hungry when you wake up from your nap. Alright, I think this is going to be the last dialogue of the video. I'm really curious about what you guys think of this video, so if you made it to the end, if you're still alive out there, if you're still conscious, let me know in the comments. How are the dialogues? What did you like? What would you change? If you could choose how I make another video like this or a totally different type of video, what would it be? Let me know. I'm curious. How is the voice? I'm talking like this because it's like soft and relaxing. And the idea is that it's good for kind of just relaxing and going to sleep, putting on some headphones and yeah. But even though I am talking very close to my microphone, I don't know how great the audio quality will be, like the clarity of my voice. People always say I speak very clearly. I speak English very clearly, but I'm curious because I'm kind of like whispering in a way. Yeah, basically like kind of like between whispering and talking. So I don't know if that affects your ability to understand what I'm saying, like if it affects the clarity a lot. So let me know how easy or difficult it was to understand me. And yeah, I hope it was easy, and I hope that you were able to follow along pretty well. And if you really have made it to the end, if you watched it until the end, you are one of my favorites. You are a true fan, a true supporter, and I appreciate you if you watch my videos until the end. I really do. I really appreciate it. Yeah, so I think that's it. I'm going to wrap it up with a short conclusion, and that will be it. All right, and that's the end of today's English Dialogues. You've just gone through a series of real, everyday conversations that people actually have in daily life. The whole idea behind this kind of video is simple. By listening to English while you relax, or even while you sleep, you're training your brain to get used to the sounds, the flow, and the natural patterns of conversation. Even if you don't catch every single word while you're half asleep, your brain is still processing the rhythm and the vocabulary. Over time, this constant exposure makes it easier to recognize phrases instantly and use them without thinking too much. It's like building muscle memory, but for language. The benefit of listening to dialogues like these is that you're not just memorizing random words, you're hearing how English is actually spoken, with real situations, natural vocabulary, and expressions you can use right away. This type of repetition, especially when it feels relaxed and effortless, helps the language sink in much deeper than traditional studying alone. So whether you were wide awake, just chilling, I'm sorry, I broke character for a second. That is crazy. We would just be like chilling, not chilling. Saying just chilling sounds crazy. Okay. Just chilling or already drifting off to sleep. Your brain was still doing the work for you. Keep coming back to these dialogues, repeat them, and let them play in the background whenever you can. The more you surround yourself with English, the faster it becomes a natural part of your thinking. Thank you for joining me today. Rest well, keep practicing, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.